Okay, so we're doing this interview because it's the 30th anniversary of Dražen Petrović. That's
Yeah.
uh, after 30 years. What comes to mind when you think about him, about the tragedy and some memories?
It's just, I guess it was tough, losing a friend like that. That's anybody, I played in the league with, but Dražen Petrović was a great player for one. Uh, but number two, he's a great person. And it just was, you know, uh, frustrating. I remember when it happened, I was eating and my my guy called me and said, "Oh, Dražen Petrović just passed away in a car crash," and I was just amazed. I don't even, it just was crazy, how it all went down. And we was gonna have me, Derek Coleman, Dražen Petrović, Chris Morris. We could have had a very good team. Uh, but to lose someone like that was really a shame.
How did the others react when they hear?
The others, they reacted the same way because he was a gentleman. He was friendly with everyone. He just wanted to be a part of the NBA and for everyone to know that I'm one of the best. Because he was in Portland for like 3 years, Portland Trailblazers, and he was behind Clyde Drexler and Terry Porter. So he wasn't getting no playing time. So when he got over to the New Jersey Nets, he was able to perform and play a lot of minutes, and he was great, man. He was a great player, and everybody was hurt. Everybody.
A lot of people don't know that you actually met before you
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
World Cup 1990.
yeah. 1990 in the World Game, we played him, Tony Kukoc, all those Volley Divac. They had a great team, and that's what we played with the college players.
Yeah, I know that.
When I played, and they really beat us. They beat us, and that's the year they began to play all the NBA players. You know, um, but he had a great performance in that game, and that's when I became a friend of his.
Hmm.
And I wasn't in the NBA, and it was just awesome playing against him and with him.
Was that the first time that you actually became aware of his existence at all, or you already knew that he was in the NBA in Portland?
That was pretty much the first time I really was aware of how good he was.
Hmm.
And he was just awesome. Shot the ball extremely well, put the put the ball on the floor, and that was the time where a lot of Europeans, he was one of the big time European players to come over to the league and really perform.
So, did he surprise you with that performance, considering that he wasn't really lighting it up in the NBA in the first season?
He didn't surprise me, because we did the scouting reports and all that, so we knew, he was a great shooter. But I think the thing about him and all the European players that we could score on them because they're not good defensive players, and
Yeah.
it just was he just was an awesome player.
Before the game, you were having a hard time against Greece. You beat them in overtime. You even lost to Puerto Rico in the group stage. So obviously that game wasn't that meaningful. But with that in mind, coming into the Yugoslavia game, were you concerned that you might actually not win the gold medal?
We tried to win it, but there was I don't remember too much of that. It was 1990.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't remember too much of it, but I remember his play. And Tony Kukoc and Divox, they had a very good team, but I don't remember too much of it. But I remember him with the shot; he was killing us.
And I was wondering, do you think if that was the final straw, that in the decision that USA stops sending college players and create a
Yeah,
dream team, or was
yeah,
it?
that was. That's when they had Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, um, uh, John Stockton, Karl Malone. They got all the pros because U.S. basketball, they wanted to win, so they put them in there. It was a sure win, But too bad we couldn't really perform because I always wondered if we would have won, you know, would they put would they would have would they would put the NBA players on, you know what I mean, on the team if we would have won it. And then we just kill everybody, beat everybody when we start playing our pros.
Oh, yeah. So after that competition, did you follow Dražen more closely while he was in Portland?
Yeah, I followed him somewhat, but then when I got drafted in '91, I knew I was going to the Nets, and I knew he was going to be on the team. So I was pretty much, like we pretty much knew we was gonna have a pretty good team. But that's when Michael Jordan, the Chicago Bulls, they was really running the whole league. That's one of his 6 championships, Michael Jordan. But we was real competitive. We was competitive.
Yeah, the Nets, when they drafted you, you and Coleman were supposed to be the biggest stars, but you actually formed a big three with Dražen. Did you expect that he might be that good when you arrived?
Yeah, I thought we was going to be pretty good. My first year, I didn't play as much because Mookie Blaylock was there. He played. And then the second year, we was on the road. We was on the road. Myself, Dražen Petrovića, Derek Coleman, and then I get injured. And I sat out half. I broke my wrist. It was just, my second year was just tough.
Tell me about those 2 years of having him as a teammate. We all know about his insane work ethic, but what are some other things that maybe surprised you about him?
What surprise? It wasn't too much surprise. He was a workaholic. He worked on his game, and I got a lot of, my work ethics, from him. Coming in early, he would be drenched like an hour before practice, coming in, getting his work in, and that's something I watched him, and I picked up some of the things that he did. It was just awesome. He just like I said, he just wasn't a real. He was a great basketball player, but he also was a great person.
He was also a great trash talker, right? He used to get into it with Jordan, with Miller, Vernon Maxwell. What was he saying to the other players, and how did you feel about him doing that stuff?
The trash talking, yeah. He would say in Europe certain things I didn't understand it, but you knew what he was talking about because you could see he was real animated with it. You know what I mean? And he gets real fired up. His high, I think he scored 45, 43 against the Houston Rockets. And Vernon Maxwell was guarding him tough. And he just lit him up, man. He lit him up. And he wanted to get into his face and started fighting and all that. And he got ejected, man. That was one of his high games. It was exciting.
A lot of people thought that he should have been selected at the All-Star game in 1993. He was eventually in the All-NBA, but not in at the All-Star. So how did he take that?
I don't know. I made the All-Star team in '94. I should have been on it 3 to 4 years, I believe. But it's all you just gotta leave it alone. He knew he was a great player. So many great players in the league, and the All-Star, you only have 12. So you just got to, take it with a grain of salt, just move on. But he was a great player.
Yeah, it would be probably more special if he was selected because he would be the first European.
Yes. Yeah. That would have been special, man. He would have been the first. He knew he should have deserved it. He deserved it, but hey, I don't know if he deserved it because there was a lot of guys out there that's performing extremely well. So, he was one of them. He performed very well, but he might didn't get the edge. Maybe because he was a European player.
Maybe, yeah. So what was he like off the court with you? Did you hang out with him?
I went to dinner. I went to dinner a few times with him. Very quiet, you know. Just a good guy. That's all I remember of, of Dražen. You know, he never really caused no trouble. Just wanted to perform well on the basketball court, and he was a gentleman. He was a gentleman. Over here in America, there's a lot of great players, but he was the man over there, man. And I still want to go over there. Maybe next year, next summer, I want to go over to Croatia and see the museum that they made of him. I really want to. I really want to go.
Nikola Jokic is the biggest star, obviously, in Denver.
Oh yeah, he's
How much
awesome.
does he remind you on of Sabonis?
Yeah. You might be correct if Sabonis' younger days, if he remind me of Sabonis' younger days. He's awesome. He's the best, one of the best players in the league, if not the best. Could shoot, put the ball on the floor at 7 feet. He's just an awesome player. Awesome.
What do you like most about him?
I like his vision, his court vision. He can pass the ball extremely well. When you're big, you're gonna be able to score. But I like his court vision. His court vision. He can see the floor. He gets everybody involved.
Some people say that he might actually already be, if not the best, maybe one of the best European players in history. How do you think he fares? I mean, knowing that some of the all-time greats were the people you played with, like Dražen and Sabonis.
Yeah, he's up there. He's one of the top. But there's so many players, that came out of there. But he got to be one of the top players. Like Dražen Petrović, Toni Kukoc. It's a bunch of the names. I just don't know. But those two, Dražen Petrović, Toni Kukoc, they're great players. But Joker is like, he might be the top. But if Dražen would have lived longer, played longer, shoot, I don't know.
Yeah, that will always be a mystery. What if? Yeah. What do you think is Dražen's legacy in
his legacy in
American
basketball? His legacy is he's great everywhere now. Overseas where he's from, but he showed that he could play on this coast, the NBA, and that's what he wanted to do because he already planted his seed over there, but he wanted to come and plant his seed over here, and he did that. But I can imagine him if he would have lived longer, he would have been awesome over here.
Okay, we passed everything I wanted to pass. So thanks a lot for your time. It's been a pleasure, and I wish you all the best.
All right, thank you so much, man.